coming up on the Life is the Future podcast.
I don't have as much free time, which means I can't spend time on myself and like what I want to do. It's good, but it's also like too stressful because my sister's in 10th grade now. She works super hard, and my parents have seen her getting all A's and then me getting like 2 B's, and then they're like, you should be more like your sister, and I can't do that. I do my best, and then it's always a comparison of the older sibling compared to the younger sibling that always gets the younger sibling down, because the older sibling's more experienced and is more capable because they have to be more mature.
Hey, this is Scott Todnam, and you're listening to the Life is the Future podcast, a podcast for health education, middle school, and life in general. It's that time again. A new school year means a new season of our podcast. This is school year 7 of the Life is the Future podcast, and we're about to introduce our 4 8th grade hosts who will eventually take the lead on each of these episodes and interview their peers. We're so fortunate to be able to do this every single school year and listen in as teenagers discuss real-life topics affecting them and influencing them and their everyday life. Our first couple of episodes are just quick getting to know you episodes where we introduce our hosts to the world and talk about what's possible here for Season 7, the 2024-2025 school year. Here's 2 of our 4 hosts on this year, Sree and Samarth. Check it out. Hello, everyone. We're here with Season 7 of the Life is the Future podcast. I have 2 of my 4 8th grade hosts for this school year. We're going to introduce them today and get to know them just a little bit, and then they're going to take over as the leaders. They'll interview their 8th grade peers about all things teenage life in this year, 2024 to 2025. We've been doing this now 6 school years. This is 7 school years. So we're going to say hi. First, Sree or Samarth.
Sree.
Who is up?
You can go,
Sree, tell the world who you are, just first names only, of course. And what are your hobbies and interests? What are you into? How's 8th grade going so far this school year?
Okay, my name is Sree. I'm an 8th grade student, and a little about me, I like art and animation. I try and do really well in school, which is like relevant to my life in 8th grade. I try and be social, and I try my best.
Absolutely. And Sree, can you tell us if you're into any extracurriculars besides doing some art stuff? Are there any things you participate in, like athletics or music or arts? Because you said you're into like doing some art stuff, right?
Yeah.
Is that an extracurricular event?
By art, I just like do like drawing or animation by my own. Other extracurriculars, I don't do any music, but I do badminton outside of academics, and I do Java coding.
Cool. I should have added that it doesn't have to be just from our school, too. All right, let's say hi to Samarth. Samarth, can you tell us who you are? What are your hobbies, interests? What are you into?
So I'm Samarth. A little bit about me. I like coding in multiple languages like HTML, CSS, Java, JavaScript, C++, Python. So yeah, there's a lot.
Wow.
Also, like athletics. I'm in cross country at school, but outside of that, I also do tennis. A couple of the extracurriculars I do music. Like I'm in band and chorus in school, but outside of that, I also do extra singing class. And I've been in the spring musical for 2 years now. This is my 3rd year for Scullin, so that's a little bit about me.
I've been in the school musical with him backstage, so I get to see that firsthand.
Yeah, you were working. I knew both of you were, I remember that from last year, you're both involved in the school musical. Have you ever done any leadership? Because I'm asking you to essentially take over this podcast, right? And this is going to be it's not just an audio podcast, we also do video for YouTube, but the audio goes and streams on, or it can be downloaded on any podcast platform. So that's direct to people's phones and wherever it's Spotify, even wherever they listen to podcasts. Have you ever been involved in something like this as a leadership? Do you ever do like iLeague? Because that's kind of one of our leadership roles at this middle school. Anything of this sort before?
I am in iLeague in school, but apart from that, I'm in this outside organization where we go out in the community to help people, and I'm and I play a huge role there. I'm more often than not at every single event that I can be at. However, there are always conflicts, and that's unavoidable. But whenever there is no conflict, I always make my best effort to go and help the community.
So you kind of are involved in some of this type of thing. Yeah. Sree, how about you?
This is my first time doing this isn't very professional, but this is my first time doing something big like this. But I have in school and out of school, I'm a big volunteer person. I try and help out the community whenever I can. If there's any volunteer jobs to help, feed my starving children, I do that regularly sometimes. And even outside of that, small things, I'm a big leader in discussions and friend groups.
Yeah, I'd say you are. And the reason I picked you two, this is the same as every school year, especially if people have been following us for a while, they know that this is an invite-only thing, right? It's not like every single 8th grader is the host. I just choose 4 that I think can do the job well. So you should take this as, a compliment. This is a privilege of sorts that you get to be the leaders. I hope you'll take it and run with it. In the end, it's not going to be me involved. It's going to be you interviewing your peers and then just talking about life. It's informal, kind of like what you said, but at the same time, it's a little bit more above and beyond our typical class discussions. But you two do so awesome in our class discussions that it just only made sense to invite you and see if you would pair well together. I think you're going to do a pretty good job as co-host. You'll probably bounce ideas back and forth because it seems like you're with it during class discussions so much that you're leading there too. And that's not just this school year so far. That's in 6th and 7th grade, right? Are you excited? Because I feel your energy coming in. Are you looking forward to this?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Do you have any topics you already know that you want to bring up?
Not yet, but I'll come back to you.
Of course you are. Yeah, we're gonna find the world's gonna find out what you come up with. Anything on the spot that you're I think this should be a reoccurring topic. We have themes that come up every single school year. Stereotypes, social media, sports, music, that stuff comes up quite a bit. Dealing with stress. Do you think you want to do another couple episodes like that? Yeah.
I think since it's reoccurring and we talk about it so much in class, so I think 8th graders would have a lot more opinions about that because they're more experienced with it. They're older, so they have more experience with stress, social media, and almost all of the topics you just listed. So I think that 8th grade might be the most experienced in the school to talk about that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, for today, what we really kind of just wanted to do was get an idea on who you were and who you are. I'm going to ask just a couple of questions and then we'll say bye because the next episode we'll release is the other 2 hosts, and then you're going to go back and forth and flip-flop one week and then the other with the other 2 hosts, and that way you're kind of releasing something maybe every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, somewhere in that line. How has the first month been so far? So let's talk quickly academics. Are you getting a feel for 8th grade? Are you used to this school now that you're comfortable with it? Do you like your new teachers and classes? Let's just talk academics in general. Sree?
Okay.
How's it been going?
It's been about the same as the past years, but now as 8th grade, it's noticeably obviously a lot different from 6th and 7th, very different from 5th. But the increase of pressure and the constant bringing up next year it's gonna be harder, next year it's gonna be more. You're almost in 9th grade. All of that is more pressure and more thought into your schoolwork, which also means that teachers do give you more work and more things to focus on. And the balance between that and things outside of school and your own personal hobbies, interests, and things you want to do just for yourself it can be a lot sometimes, but once you get older and to this age, you learn how to balance that more.
Yeah. So you're the workload is just a little bit more. Yeah. Is it interesting work at least?
Sometimes, and some subjects where you already know once this is around the age where you kind of have a feel of what you want to do in your future. So there are some subjects that you have more interest in and you want to focus on more for your later years, and then there are other subjects that are neither interesting or relevant, which you don't really want to do that.
Right. And it's kind of about finding what you're good at too, and what you're interested in. Yeah. Samarth, how's your year going so far?
My year's been going okay.
We just started, but like, how's
yeah.
the school year started?
It's been good. There's been a lot more homework, which is a good thing and a bad thing. It's a good thing because then I don't have to go to as many things with my parents, which is, yeah. But it's a bad thing because then I don't have as much free time, which means I can't spend time on myself, on like what I want to do. And that's also can be said. It can also be said that like there's always some time to make for yourself, but like at some point like that's not even an option because I sometimes I have to survive on 2 shots of espresso and like just 2 cups of coffee to go through the night to finish my homework. But it's like it's good, but it's also like too stressful because I have to. My sister's in 10th grade now. But she's extremely like, she works super hard, and my parents have seen her getting all A's, and then me getting like 2 B's, and then they're like, you should be more like your sister, and I can't do that because she's an extremely hard worker, and some people say I am. I don't think so, but I do my best, and then it's always a comparison of the older sibling compared to the younger sibling that always gets the younger sibling down because the older sibling's more experienced and is more capable. Because they have to be more mature earlier in life because of the younger sibling. But the younger sibling does not do anything. They're just chilling. They're not doing anything stressful. So then I get compared too much, and then that's about that.
So it sounds like there's some pressure. There's some pressure to perform, whatever it might be. There's a lot of talk about next year, teachers and probably parents and guardians, right? Gotta get ready for high school, but you're here in middle. You deserve to be right here, right now. And that mindful approach, I think both of you get really well, and that's why I wanted you to be our leaders. And I'm hoping that you already have ideas on some people that you know as friends, acquaintances, maybe even just classmates that you don't know that well, that you're like, oh, they'd be good in here. Let's definitely bring them in. And I think as you choose your topic, you might find that some other of your classmates and peers are best suited for those types of topics. So you can kind of be thinking ahead. But you mentioned teachers and family members and siblings. Our viewership is kind of all across the board. So it's not just going to be classmates of yours that are tuning in and wondering what it is that you're chatting about. It's also a lot of parents that follow along. We have alumni that are still connected, people that have been in your spots before as hosts, and they're still kind of following what we're up to for each new season. And then, of course, fellow teachers. Other people that are in education, and they see us reflect. And a lot of this development is informal. We're practicing life skills that aren't always tested on standardized tests. So communication, right? This is interpersonal communication. Also other things like advocacy. You remember that word, I'm sure, from 7th grade. And other just simple life skills. And empathy comes across sometimes in your discussions, compassion. Those aren't things that we always see on a test. But do you think that your 8th grade peers are online enough that if we throw these out on media, YouTube and other social media, that they would potentially see our videos? Are 8th graders online?
100%.
Yeah, they're extremely online, but it's not more about them being online. It's about them being online in the right places. So like I know a lot of kids. I'm not gonna say names, but they're online a lot. Like they're almost addicted to their phones, but they're never online in like places where they can get benefit for themselves. I'm guilty, but it's like they want a break, but like and parents always say you can take a break, but it has to be an educational break so that you're still getting something done. So I know some 8th graders, like my friends who would tune into this either because I'm on it or because it's a place where like that they can hear the truth from a fellow peer. But I know most 8th graders who will not bother because it's like, instead of watching this, I could be watching something else. I could be doing something else that's more fun and interesting to me.
Of course, yeah. And I guess our goal is like what you saw us do by 6th and 7th grade is to put some positivity out to the world, because there's a lot online that people are mindlessly scrolling through that might not benefit them. But I was just wondering, are 8th graders online as much as maybe the public thinks as a stereotype?
It depends on the type of person. Like, I know a lot of people that are online, but like not in the way that many expect. And then there are also other people I know that are 100% like walking, talking stereotypes of that. So like some of my friends would tune into this, like not just because I'm here, but because like they genuinely want to see these videos and this type of content. And then there are other like friends like Samarth said, who like, why do more education stuff when I could be playing Fortnite?
Yeah. Well, we just wanted to make sure that we introduced you two. We heard your thoughts on how the first month of school is going, maybe some ideas on where you're going to go with topics, but I think you're just going to play it by ear and see what feels right every single week that you come in. And we'll look forward to as many episodes as we can get done before May. Okay, so again, world, here's Sree and Samarth, or what flows best? Samarth and Sree? Sree and Samarth, does the order matter? Anyway, we're going to say goodbye until they take over. I'll try and introduce our other two hosts, of course, in the next video and podcast release, and then look for them to start real soon in their own episode of Season 7 of the Life is the Future podcast. All right, guys, let's say bye for now, and appreciate taking a couple of minutes here to just say hello to the world.
Thanks.
Bye, everyone. Thanks. Take care.